The war for my workshop. How I took down a rogue HOA. When I sank my life savings into a quiet patch of Florida land, I thought I'd bought freedom. No nosy neighbors, no petty mailbox regulations, just me, my tools, and the wide-open sky. At 55, after 2 decades chasing down fugitives and dodging bullets as a process server, I was ready for peace. My little slice of paradise sand, oaks, and palmettos was supposed to be my reward. But peace, I learned, doesn't come cheap. And some folks, like Susan Harper, don't take kindly to a man who just wants to be left alone. I built a chain-link fence around my lot the week I moved in, topped it with cameras and enough no trespassing signs to scare off anyone with half a brain. My old buddy, Sheriff Mike Dawson, checked the zoning for me. "You're golden, Tom," he said. "No HOA can touch you unless they've got a badge or a judge." Those words rang in my ears when trouble came knocking. Last spring, I broke ground on my workshop, a proper setup with a cement slab, steel walls, and ventilation for welding. It was my sanctuary, a place to build, fix, and forget the world. A month in, as I was pouring concrete, I spotted her, Susan Harper, mid-50s, blonde bob, clutching a clipboard like it was the Constitution. She didn't wave, just stared. A week later, a letter arrived, typed in some goofy font, claiming my workshop violated Pine Grove HOA standards. Unauthorized structure, noise, debris, the works. It ended with a threat. Non-compliance may result in enforcement action. I laughed, poured myself some sweet tea, and sent it back with a note scrawled in red marker. "Not in your HOA. Step on my land without a warrant, and the sheriff will greet you first." I mailed it certified, just to twist the knife. Days later, Susan cruised by in a sedan, a guy in tow measuring my fence with a laser. "Your construction's ruining our aesthetic," she yelled. I looked up from my saw and said, "Not your neighborhood." That night, I backed up my camera feeds and wired motion-activated spotlights. I'd seen her type beffer clipboards instead of casseroles, drunk on power they don't have. 3 days out of town, and I came home to a nightmare. My gate was ajar, my dog Daisy silent, and my workshop looked like it had been hit by a tornado. The door was kicked in, hinges shattered. The window was smashed. Inside, my tools, thousands of dollars worth, were dented, broken, or gone. My welder was gutted, wires spilling out. Red spray paint screamed across the floor. Violation neutralized. Operation Pine complete. Signed, in cursive, Susan Harper, Pine Grove HOA Director. Rage boiled, but I stayed calm. I photographed everything, recorded a voice memo, and checked my cameras. The external ones were smashed, but the hidden lens in the birdhouse caught it all, for figures in Pine Grove enforcement shirts, masked, gloved, one with a baton. I called Mike. He rolled up in his cruiser, took one look, and muttered, "Damn, Tom, you warned me." We found footprints, broken branches, and discarded gloves. Mike bagged Susan's signed manifesto like it was evidence in a murder case. Deputies arrived, and one recognized the shirts. Susan's crew had been terrorizing Pine Grove for weeks, fake citations, harassing kids, even pepper spraying a landscaper over a trash bin. They nabbed a kid named Ethan, barely 19, bragging at a gas station in his enforcement shirt. Under pressure, he cracked. Susan said it was legal, said Tom was a washed-up cop, and the HOA would cover us. Mike shook his head. "This ain't an HOA. It's a gang in khakis." Susan didn't back off. The next day, "Community Parasite" was painted on my gate. Flyers with "Go away" in childish scrawl littered my yard. A city inspector showed up, mumbling about waste storage complaints. Then the fire department tipped off about chemical smells. Susan had weaponized the neighborhood's busybodies, who'd snap photos of my gate like spies. I installed motion-activated sprinklers. Their morning walks got a lot wetter. The real escalation came one night. Daisy barked once, sharp. I was reviewing footage, backing up drives. The workshop's light flickered, supposed to be off. Sidearm drawn, I crept over. The side door was pried open. Inside, a figure, small, hooded, gloved, was at my laptop, plugging in a flash drive. My security sticker, tampered with, had tripped a silent alarm. She grabbed decoy backup disks. The real ones were in a bolted safe. I flipped on the light. "Evening, Susan." She froze, hand in a bag. Daisy growled. The camera's red light blinked. "Deleting evidence from property you don't own?" I asked. Susan forced a smile. Just clarifying misunderstandings. By committing a felony? I pointed to the camera. Cloud-linked. Say cheese. Mike burst in, cuffs ready. Susan sputtered about community authority as he read her rights. I crossed my arms, letting her words drown in silence. Mike grinned. Got a backup of that backup? Triple encrypted, I said. One's already with my lawyer. The Pine Grove HOA tried to disown Susan, calling her a rogue volunteer. My attorney, Jack, wasn't buying it. We filed civil and criminal suits, trespassing, vandalism, evidence tampering, and forming an illegal paramilitary group. I dug into public records HOA budgets, minutes, invoices. Pine Grove's books were a mess. Landscaping contracts were half what they billed. Community equipment included tactical vests and pepper spray, all charged to residents who didn't know better. Susan's lawyer sent a USB with self-incriminating footage of me trashing my own shop. Jack spotted the fake instantly blurry, wrong resolution, a deepfake stitched from my own backups. We added evidence fabrication to the charges. Then Ellen, a nervous HOA board member, called. Over diner coffee, she handed over a folder. Emails, receipts, and a chat where Susan bragged. If he sues, we've got deepfakes. Worst case, we blame PTSD. Jack grinned. We're not just burying her. We're building a monument. The trial was a circus. Reporters swarmed. Protesters waved, down with rogue HOA signs. Inside, Susan sat, lips tight, next to Treasurer Carl and two enforcers looking like scolded kids. Luke, Susan's muscle, sealed it. His training videos showed the raid, Susan's orders, and his taunts about my PTSD. Susan took the stand, claiming she was saving Pine Grove from trailers and skull flags. The judge cut her off. This isn't about flags. It's about crimes. The verdict hit hard. Susan, guilty on all counts, 18 years, no parole for 12. Carl, 3 years for embezzlement. The enforcers, 18 months suspended. Pine Grove HOA, dissolved, assets frozen. 3 months later, my land was quiet again. New fence, new signs, a metal plate, private property. No HOA. No mercy. The workshop, Gleamitsky light, reinforced doors, tools in perfect order. Mike stopped by, joking about me joining the new HOA board. I told him I'd rather wrestle an alligator. Neighbors nodded now, one leaving brownies with a thank you. Susan, she's folding laundry in Lowell Correctional. Jack's running a free legal clinic for HOA victims, calling it the Anti-Susan Project. I keep Susan's signed letter framed above my workbench. It's a reminder. Power starts small. Rules, uniformity, control, then it's crowbars in your home. Not on my land. Never again. I sip coffee, scratch Daisy's ears, and watch the sunset. Peace isn't given. It's earned. What do you think? Have you ever faced injustice or abuse of power like this? Do you think Tom's response was justified, or did he go too far? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's hear where you stand on fighting back against bullies and standing up for what's yours. Your voice matters.